Welcome back to Seven Rivers Health. And of course, one of the things you just saw on your screen that people are learning more and more about is yoga and the health benefits to yoga. With me is Mandy Roush. She is a yoga instructor at Franciscan Skemp Healthcare. And Mandy, let's talk about yoga and more people turning to yoga, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's really growing in the United States. There's a lot of reasons for that, I think. I think our lives are getting increasingly busier. I think that we're all feeling as though we're living in fast forward to some extent between jobs and families and running here and running there and staying healthy and doing all those things. And I think what yoga provides people with is really a chance to stop for 1 hour and be present. Mm-hmm. And for some people, that's just a huge luxury. So,
what is it? Just the fact that it's just one of those times of your life that you're just kind of just have that 1 hour of just relaxation, both mentally and physically?
There's certainly a mental and a physical benefit to yoga. Yoga really means to yoke or join the mind and the body. And what joins the mind and the body is the breath, or the prana. So we use breathing techniques or just steady, consistent breath to move from one posture to another. And what ends up happening when you do that is that the noise in the background goes away, and your focus and your energy and your mental place is just in the here and the now. And from that, then you get that mental, relaxation sensation, or that clearing or that centering sensation that you get from yoga.
And so many people, more and more people are using this for not only their home life, but their work life as well, correct?
Oh, well, I think it can benefit you in all areas of your life. Speaking from my own experience anyway, you start practicing yoga, I think, for the physical benefits. You want to be more flexible, or you're a runner, or you're a basketball player, and you need to stay flexible in your sport. And what you find is the longer you practice yoga, because we do consider it a practice, the more you start to realize that there are so many other benefits to it. And you find that when you're more in touch with your mind and your body, you can carry that throughout your workplace, maybe your marriage, how you deal with your kids, how you take care of yourself. It really does trickle down into all areas of your life.
Talk a little bit more about the health benefits. I mean, it benefits, just pretty much your whole system,
inside
correct?
and out, absolutely. Like I said, a lot of people come to yoga for the physical benefit because clearly it's going to increase your flexibility. There's definitely some strengthening and conditioning that it can give you. It increases circulation like any other physical activity, which can benefit you in warding off illness, managing chronic, disease, increasing your heart rate, strengthen your lungs and your heart. All of those physical benefits are pretty clear. Mm-hmm. But the mental and emotional benefits that you receive from having that clarity that we talked about, I think go far beyond that. Maybe it helps you stay more grounded in your day-to-day activities. Maybe it helps you become more focused at work. Maybe it helps you stay less stressed or rattled when you're in those difficult situations, And that's the muscle that you don't see that you're definitely getting a benefit to.
Well, and some people are always thinking about the TV thing of people just going like this and and pausing, and that is not yoga, correct?
It isn't. Well, there's so many kinds of yoga. I don't think you can say yoga is this. There's hundreds of styles of yoga. Yeah. I always tell my students, there's 100 different kinds of ice cream. Which kind do you like? You have to figure out what kind of yoga really appeals to you, and then seek out that instructor or that class that fits what you're looking for.
Let's talk about those classes. And how do you know what fits for you? You said there's a number of different versions of yoga. Mm-hmm. How do you know what fits right for you?
I think you have to get out there and just try it. There's a tremendous amount of yoga in our community. We're really fortunate. So I think it's a good idea to go out and kind of taste test. Maybe take the restorative class and find out what that's about. Maybe if that isn't challenging enough for you, you want more of a physically dynamic style of yoga, try a power yoga class. So it's just trial and error, and I think it depends too on the instructor. You need to feel connected or comfortable with that person.
Now, yoga, you kind of talked about it briefly a little bit, but some people think that yoga yoga is a good, somewhat physical workout as well, to a point.
There are styles of yoga that are definitely more physically rigorous. Power yoga, which is the style I teach at Franciscan Skemp, one of the classes I teach there, it's definitely more physically demanding. There's a lot of strength required to go through some of the postures. You know, there's a lot of up and down movement, what's just going to get your heart rate up. We do a lot of whole body holding, presses and things like that, where you definitely need to, you know, be in the mood for a strenuous activity. Versus, you know, the restorative class is definitely more laid back. We're really focusing on the breath and the gentle movement from one posture to the next, stretching the muscles in a gentle way. So that class you're going to leave feeling more restored, rejuvenated, relaxed. Whereas with power yoga, you might come out feeling like you had more of an intense workout, still feeling relaxed and rejuvenated. So
it's one of those things that's kind of different, but yet it could fit anybody from young to old.
Absolutely. Yep. I've seen little kids do yoga. I've seen people that are 90 do yoga. And it's just, again, making it work for you. The great thing about yoga is that, say, take one pose called tree pose, and you can break that pose down from the very end of the spectrum to the very other end of the spectrum. You could use a chair and support yourself using the chair, or you could place your foot at your ankle, you could place your foot at your upper thigh. There's always different levels to take each pose. You don't need to do it in its full expression to get the benefits. So definitely doesn't matter your age or ability level, there's something that can work for you.
Why is it so popular here in this area, do you think? It's just, is it because it's the mind, body, and spirit kind of overall
I think it's
thing?
It's not just this area. I've traveled a lot, and I always make sure that I take in the yoga scene wherever I am. And I think it's our culture in general is just crying for some time to come back to center. Like I said, we're all in fast forward. And if yoga gives you an hour of time where you don't think about that and you can just be present, I think that's why it's catching on so much. People need that. We need balance in our lives, and maybe yoga is the only way that they're going to get that in the day.
It's amazing. It's kind of one of those things that I think people really don't understand to the full extent, but I think you've helped educate a lot of people about it. Is there anything else people may not know or may have misconceptions on regarding yoga?
I've heard a lot of people think that yoga is like a religion. You know, that like you said, it's people sitting around saying Om or chanting, and there's definitely some of that out there, and depending on the style of yoga that you practice or that you like, that could be part of it. But it's really not a religion. It's a series of poses that's going to connect the mind with the body through the use of the breath. Now, some people find that after practicing a number of years, they might start to feel more connected spiritually to whatever higher power they believe in, but it isn't a religion. So don't let that scare you or keep you from coming to a class. You know, it's really more about the mind-body connection.
Well, no matter if it's your young age or my old age or kids or elderly folks, people want to get in part of yoga, they can call Franciscan Skemp or any other places here in town that offer yoga. So Mandy Roush, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Rick.
That's another edition of Seven Rivers Health. Thanks for joining us, and be healthy, everyone.